Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Meet Your Therapist. Today we are with Deema. So, Deema, can you give us a little introduction about yourself?
Sure. Hello. I'm so excited to be doing this. I am a licensed professional counselor associate. I'm
Hey.
excited. I think I've always been interested in psychology and like human behavior and the mind from a really, really young age before I kind of even knew what a therapist was. Like my parents tell me that I always gravitated towards like interesting documentaries or like interesting books that were like psych related. And then it wasn't until I got a little bit older and kind of went through my own therapy experience that I realized like, oh my God, this is life changing. And it kind of felt like, okay, this is what's good. This is what I'm meant to do. Like I want to do it so bad. And so kind of just started my journey there school wise.
Mhm. I love that. I feel like that really is such an easy way for us to get into this field is okay, I've had my own experience. I noticed the difference it made for me and wanting to then get to give that and offer that to your clients back.
Totally. It feels like just it's my way of giving back and I love it.
I love that. And then tell me a little bit about what are the type of populations that you like to serve?
Totally. I love couples. I love my couples. And I also am interested in family work as well. Um, I don't know, there's just something about having multiple people in the room that just feels so comfortable for me. But outside of couples and family work, I really love working with young adults, individuals who are kind of like working on like low self-worth, self-esteem issues, anxiety. And I do have a special place in my heart for the Muslim Middle Eastern population. So there's also that.
I love that. Yeah, I think, well, one thing about Deema is definitely a couples queen. And as you mentioned, then I know you've gotten to have some really special work done with a lot of um, young adults, as you mentioned, experiencing kind of just like life changes. And within that, anxiety and depression as it's showed up too.
Yeah, definitely. It's an honor. It's such an honor.
Yeah. And then, well, with that, if we had a new client come up to you, how would you describe therapy and what it looks like to be one of your clients?
Yeah. I think I like to start with like it's just cozy. Um, I like having a really cozy space where it just feels really chill because I understand that like therapy itself is so intimidating and being vulnerable can be really hard. So I try to create like a really like almost like a laid back environment. I don't want it to feel super formal. I don't want it to feel like robotic either. So I really try to spend some time getting to know my client or clients. And just like who you are as a person, because then I feel like that makes it feel more human. And so that's kind of what I like to lead with before we get into the really hard stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I hear safety, just like I want you to feel safe. How are
Yes.
we going to do that before we get this started?
That's the goal. That's always the goal is establishing safety. I feel like once we kind of get that going, um, everything else kind of falls in line. But without it, I feel like, I don't know, the therapeutic relationship is just so important, as you know.
Yeah, and it makes those like long time, yeah, therapeutic relationships, I feel like, last long and get to really grow together too. Like you said, when you start with that safety, and with safety is that comfort and getting to be cozy, and you getting to be cozy and show that for your clients too.
Totally. Totally.
Okay. And then I guess tell me a little bit about what you would want like a potential client to know about you if they started with you.
Oh, yeah. I guess I want them to know that a lot of times, like with my clients, I really like to let them lead. I'm not really going to push you into a place that you're like fully not ready to go to. I think sometimes like mainstream media can make therapy look like that, or it just again like makes it so scary. But that's not what I'm going to do. If you're not ready to go somewhere, I'm not pushing you there. Um, so again, it kind of ties back to that safety aspect of like, I'm gonna let you lead. And of course, like I try to serve my role as like kind of like a guide. Um, but at the end of the day, if you're going to look at me and be like, yeah, no, absolutely not. We're not touching this area right now. Then sure, got it. Mental note made. And, maybe we'll get to approach it one day. And if not, until then, I'm here to support you however else I can in the meantime.
Yeah, I think that really goes along well too with that safety piece of I want you to feel safe to go at the pace you need. And if we start to feel like this isn't safe, then we take it back and we meet the client where they're at.
So exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, then I want you to tell me what is like a therapy book that you've enjoyed sharing with your clients or you've just enjoyed reading yourself?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm reading a lot of books right now. So that's a hard one, but I think the one that's really stood out to me recently is It's Okay That You're Not Okay. Megan Devine or Devine. I still don't know. People say it differently all the time, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, but um that book, it just felt so profound to me, and like getting to share it with some of my clients who are experiencing grief has been really, really powerful. And I don't know, just the perspective is just so different than like the way society sees things typically with grief. And so that book really stands out to me as like a recent read.
Yes, I love that book too. And I think it really opens that door for, there's so many different ways grief can show in life, and it doesn't always have to be what we assume it's going to look like.
Totally. Totally.
I know you mentioned you've been reading some other books. Anything else that
Yeah.
you're currently reading?
Yeah, so No Bad Parts, I'm rereading. I kind of read it like briefly through grad school. Um, but reading for fun in grad school is not always the easiest thing to do or not the easiest to retain info with. So I'm going back into No Bad Parts because I'm just so fascinated by parts work. Um, so that's been really, really fun for me, and really just sitting with it and kind of being intentional with it. So like I'm taking notes as I go, and um I really want to get more into like internal family systems. So that's kind of been like another major focus reading wise. So
I love that. I think that's a good reminder too that like we can reread some of these books and it's going to hit us differently. I think in different stages of like our therapy work, or we're also human and we're not going to remember all of it. So I definitely get that as well, that I've kind of had to go back and reread some books because it's been a second.
totally, totally. Especially when there's like so much out there. There's so much to read. And again, like being in grad school, when there's like so many required readings, it's so hard to put like the recommended ones, on the top of your priority list, at least for me. So now getting to just be an LPCA and just read what I want to read, and there's no like timer on it, it's been so much more fun because I'm also not reading's not my favorite thing to do. So this has been more enjoyable, luckily. So
Yeah, I love your honesty in that too. Of hey, it's also not always our favorite thing, or maybe we have a different way of learning that helps us too.
I'm gonna be so honest, it's mostly audiobooks. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So yeah, to me the audio just sits better. So it feels a little funny when I say I'm reading because I'm like, am I? I don't know. I don't know. I'm listening. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that though. There are so many people who only can do audiobooks. And like you said, the information's going to be the same, but we all have different ways of how we are like taking
Yeah. That's reassuring. Thanks, Taylor.
that. Feel you always. Okay, next question. So at the couch, we do kind of have a baseline of that attachment-based lens, and super relational. And so for you, I'm kind of wondering, looking back at like little Deema, is there anything that you would tell her now?
Ooh, yeah. I guess I would tell her that like people pleasing will eventually start to change for you, and like boundary setting gets a little bit stronger. Um, and like it just like it's gonna be okay. I'm thinking like not super little Dima, I'm thinking like more teen Dima, like that age, that like phase of my life. That it's okay to set boundaries, and that, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world, and that you're gonna get a lot better at it as well. And it's going to feel good. It's not going to feel as icky as it used to. Um, and yeah, if people don't love it, it's okay. That's okay too. So I guess that kind of ties into the people pleasing for me because it's like, well, if you don't like it, then sorry, but it's what I need. So yeah,
Yeah, so sweet. And like you said, just knowing what we know now and how that can be so helpful to do the hard things in the, front line to then get to see it play out later. So that's so sweet to even see maybe where little Dima was and then now kind of how far you've came to.
yeah, totally. I just tell her to hang on. It's gonna be okay, girl. It's gonna
Hang
be okay.
on.
Yeah,
Just hold on tight. I love that.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay, well, next question. This one is kind of fun. If you were gonna have a movie about you made,
Oh,
which actor or actress is gonna play you?
man. Okay, hold on. So I'm not too sure. I think so I resonate a lot with SpongeBob, to be so honest with you.
I love
I'm
that.
thinking like characters, like I'm not really thinking like human, real life. Everyone in my life compares me to SpongeBob. Um, so I feel like it would be something of that nature. I just I don't know. I watch a lot of movies, but I'm not too familiar with like different actors and actresses, but that's like the first thing that comes to mind because I get told it so often. I'm like, great. I should look into that.
That is amazing. Okay, well, I kind of need to know why. Like, what are those traits about SpongeBob that we see in Dima?
I need to phone a friend. I'm not too I don't know. And it's funny because like I love SpongeBob, so it's not offensive at all. But I think it's like, I don't know, just like like, I'm ready. I'm ready. I bring it. I have no idea. But yeah, I guess it would have to be SpongeBob.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I see it too. Like, I can imagine yeah, like you said, he gets up, he's on the move,
Yeah.
smile on his face, always kind of having his just like sense of humor, like ready to go. So I could see it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love it. I love it. And I think there's like a part of SpongeBob that can be a little bit anxious sometimes. And I mean, I'm super open about like, having a little bit of that myself. And so it feels like a good mix, I guess. Like when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, this feels authentic. I get it. But I don't know, girl.
That's a good way to put it is SpongeBob is so authentically himself. And so, like you said, we see all those parts show in the show.
Yeah, it's it's fun. It's fun. I'm about to go watch an episode now. Now I'm thinking about it too much. I need
Now
to
I'm
study
going
it.
to, well, I don't know if I'm ever going to look at SpongeBob the same. I'm going to think Dima's right there with him.
Thank you. Thank you, all my friends for that.
But I think that's probably the best answer I've heard so far for that question.
I appreciate it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I don't know how we're going to top that, but next we're going to do a speed round. And so I'm going to ask you questions, and I want you to just give me quick, what comes to your mind answers.
Cool. Okay.
Ready? Okay. First one, what is your go-to self-care after a long day of being a therapist?
Ooh. Am I going home? I'm overthinking this. Am I going home or do I have sessions like after? Is it
When
between
you're done with your day, what are you doing?
done with my day? Okay. Can we cut that? Sorry, let's pause. Can we cut that? Okay. I don't know why I overthought that.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
start over.
Okay. I'm gonna start from the rapid fire. Okay, Dima, we are gonna do some rapid fire questions, and so I want you to give me quick answers that just come up immediately for you. So, number one, what is your go-to self-care after a long day of being a therapist?
Ooh, definitely going on a walk or going to the gym feels so great, even if it's just like something that's super just like just chill. I don't have to do, a killer workout, but getting my body moving always feels great because then I come home and I can just relax after. Just let it all out.
Yeah, I love that. Just like moving our body. I feel like that is one hard place of being a therapist is that we are typically sitting a
Yeah,
lot. And so I can see where our body's just kind of craving movement.
totally, totally.
Yeah, good answer. Okay, number two, if you could have dinner with any therapist, who are we going to dinner with?
Oh my God, Sue Johnson. I would love to have dinner with Sue Johnson, the founder of EFT, emotion focused therapy. Man, that would have been amazing if I could have gone to do that. Yeah,
Yeah, she was such a light of information and knowledge. And I love looking back at her like training videos and all the research she's done. And so you would have so much to talk with her about, I'm sure.
for sure. So much wisdom there. Just wanting to learn more about, how she led with couples therapy. Oh my God, the dream. But yeah.
So good. Okay, number three. What is one surprising thing that people don't know about therapy?
Think I feel like I touched on this a little bit earlier, but like again, like we're not really robots. So like if you're gonna crack a joke, if it feels therapeutically appropriate, of course I'm gonna laugh with you. Or if you're gonna tell me you're watching a show and I'm watching that show too, I'm gonna say same and I want your opinion on like the current season or you know what I mean? I feel like sometimes again, like the media portrays it as like a little bit more robotic and cold sometimes, but I'm also a human. So I want to know all the things and I want to bond over those little things too as we talk about the hard stuff and do the hard work. So
Yeah, so true. I think, as you said, it's important to be able to have fun, human, normal conversations. It doesn't always have to feel like we're in the hard thick of it the whole time we're meeting with someone.
totally.
Good. Okay. Number four, if you could instantly become an expert in one field of therapy or a theory, what would you pick?
Internal family systems. That is my goal. That is my next professional goal is to get really good at that. Starting with reading and doing like research and hopefully talking to some of our coworkers who are phenomenal at the theory. I'm just so fascinated by it. So if that could happen overnight, I'd be so thankful, but it doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, but like the motivation and passion you have behind it makes that so fun to learn. And as you said, what a connection piece too when we're learning more things and can learn from like our coworkers or from like,
Totally.
other professionals in the field.
100%. I'm excited. So stay tuned.
I'm ready for it.
Thank you.
Okay, this one's kind of the best one to end on. If we had a therapy retreat, are we going to the beach? Are we going to the mountains? What do
The
you think?
the beach. Girl. The ocean. I'm a Pisces, and so I am a fish in another world. And so has to be the beach. Always.
Yeah, water's your happy place. I love it.
It is. It's just where I'm meant to be, but I'm not, so it's okay.
Well, speaking on that, Deema recently went on a vacation that kind of goes well with this. Do you mind sharing a little bit about it?
Yeah, totally. So I just got back from Hawaii, which was, oh my gosh, the most surreal experience. I love it there and definitely, I'm I eventually want to move there when I'm like, done with work and kind of want to retire there is the goal, but that's a long ways to go. Um, yeah, it was just the most surreal experience ever and just getting to connect with nature was so healing. I didn't realize how disconnected I've been. And I mean, it's hard, I feel like, to connect with nature here in Texas. It's hot and it's dry. There's not much to see. I love Texas. It's okay. I get to say it, born and raised, but um, don't come for me. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just so different over there. And it kind of I came back with this new perspective of like I really need to make the effort to find different ways to connect with nature, especially now that our weather's starting to cool down because it just felt so good. Um, so that was a huge piece for me coming back from it. But if you ever get the chance to go, please go. I will plan your itinerary for you. It is amazing. Just go.
Yeah, what a great way of, like you said, just seeing a whole different side of the world and like different pieces of nature that we can't often get here. And I think that was a really great moment of just big self-care that you were able to give yourself and kind of recharge to come back and be able to like take on sessions again with your clients.
For sure, for sure. And that felt so important, getting to like recharge because again, we're human too. And so being able to do that kind of had me feeling like, okay, I'm ready for the fall. And with fall comes like holiday season and it's not always the easiest time of year. So I feel super, super ready to just show up for my humans and show up at work and do the thing until our next break. Um, so yeah.
I love that. Okay, well, thank you again so much, Deema. I feel like we got to learn so much about you.
You. That was so fun. I always love talking to you. This was great.
I know we could just keep going, but I'll pause on that. Well, if anyone out there is interested in getting to learn more about Deema and talk to her, you can go to our website at the Couch Therapy and reminder that she is at our Allen office and then also offers virtual all across Texas. So again, thank you so much, Deema.
Thank you. All right. Do I?